All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the hardship in Nigeria continues, and there is absolutely no sign that things will get better. As a matter of fact, all the indices available right now show that things will actually get worse. But the APC aren't concerned. Their focus is far removed from the good of the citizens. Minister of Works Dave Umahi, amidst the suffering of the people, has come out to say Tinubu must be re-elected by the power of God. Umahi's focus is on re-election, and the same is true for his other colleagues. That is why they have turned deaf ears to the cries of the people. It is all about looting and impoverishing the people while they enrich themselves. And this despicable act of this regime has led to chaos even within the APC itself. And few hours ago, the people of Edo State began to flee their communities as the consequences of having an APC governor began to play out, just as I predicted when the people of Edo State danced to the palace of the Oba of Benin to celebrate the victory of APC's Monday Ekpeolo. I said, these people, I will be here to report it when killings will pervade your state. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, the media was flooded with the reports on the chaos in the APC. The northern faction of the party rose against the southern faction, berating them so much, but the southern faction quickly gave it back to them in an explosive exchange. Before I show you details of the top stories, let me quickly show you this video, which is actually the genesis of the recent implosion of the APC. The North, as it stands, have largely rejected Tinubu. I don't care if their position or decision makes sense or not, but that is the position, and El-Rufai buttressed it in this video. But then he went ahead to refer to Tinubu's men as Agbero, not Omoluabis, while condemning Tinubu's actions. See the video.
People sit where you're sitting from the North, the Northern League, different people from the North who express dissatisfaction with President Tinubu, particularly over appointments. What is your position on that?
I agree with them. I think that President Tinubu's appointments are quite imbalanced. But unlike others that think, oh, the appointments are skewed towards Southwest, no. Please, don't blame the Southwest for what one individual is doing. Okay? As a Northerner and someone that lived half of his life under military rule, we have suffered that. The military takes power, they do things, the head of state is a Northerner, he messes up, every Northerner is blamed. No. Yorubas are very honorable people. Okay? But there is a difference even in Yoruba land between an Omoluabi, okay, who is the ideal Yoruba person with morals and character, and an area boy. Okay? So I want people to stop saying it's Southwest. Look, President Tinubu is appointing his own boys. Not because they are Yoruba, but because they are his own boys. And most of the appointments do not even reasonably cover the Southwest. Okay, so people should stop confusing the two. The appointments are not balanced. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Right.
You cannot argue that. But it's not a Yoruba thing. Please don't punish the Yorubas as you have been punishing Northerners for the sins of the military. Okay? Let's focus on individuals and hold them accountable. President Tinubu needs to do something about that. It's still not too late, he can correct it, but there is palpable anger in the North, and all the people around him, all those telling him that everything is quiet, they cannot go to the North and say vote for APC or vote for Tinubu today. But it's 2 years to the elections, it's not too late to correct things, and he knows. I have passed this message through many of those close to him. I hope they have the guts to tell him.
Right.
Now, without doubt, a big part of northern Nigeria is almost 100% determined for a change of government. Speak to the average aboki on the streets in Nigeria today, and he will tell you that Tinubu has brought nothing but pain upon the nation. And you can argue that on the issue of lopsided appointments, Buhari was also guilty. Buhari is also as guilty as Tinubu. Well, that is actually none of my business. I am just reporting the chaos within the APC and how the entire nation can benefit from it. And of course, El-Rufai's description of Tinubu and those surrounding him in that interview, he described them as Agberos, not Omoluabis. That description did not go down well with the Yorubas in the Tinubu cabinet at all. And that takes me to our top stories for tonight. Aso Rock responded to the interview of El-Rufai, and they responded in a manner that got APC chiefs, including APC supporters, insulting one another all over social media. And concurrently, the updates on the people of Edo State fleeing their communities after attacks began making the rounds. Edo was warned not to allow an APC governor takeover, but the Oba of Benin and some others thought their egos must take precedence over the lives of the people. And now all hell is about to be let loose. Let's start by taking that update from Edo State. Look at how the papers reported it. Residents flee from Edo community after armed headsmen murder head of vigilantes. Sahara reporters. Gunmen suspected to be headers have killed a youth leader in Era community, Owan East local government area of Edo State, Ogbedege Victor. The deceased was the head of local security network team in the community. According to a source, his lifeless body was found on Monday afternoon with machete cuts found on his body. The source added that most villagers had fled from the community for fear of being killed, stressing that the incessant clashes and destruction of farm crops had become worrisome. This was what Fulani herders did to a youth yesterday in Edo State. They ambushed and slaughtered him because he is the head of the local security network team in our community, Era in Owan East LGA. Other villagers saw them. They are Fulani herders, he said. The source, however, called on Governor Monday Ekpeolo and the security agencies to intervene and save them from attacks allegedly perpetrated by the herders. This is coming a few days after two residents of Ekpekpe community, also in Edo State, Batemue Philip Ebo and Christopher Bello, were reportedly killed by the suspected herders. The incident was said to have thrown the community into mourning, as the deceased were on their farms when they met their untimely death. The death of two farmers was confirmed by both the community's royal father, Onkweko of Okpekpe, His Royal Highness Peter Oshigbeme, and embattled chairman of the LGA, Benedicta Ato. This is just the beginning. Now, I am not saying that Obaseki of PDP was a very fantastic governor, but at least he made sure that he dealt with Fulani invasion when he was governor. And I'm sure that the PDP man and the Labour Party man, Olumide Akpata, would have continued in that same direction. In fact, they would have done better. Now they have an APC governor. The problem, the danger in having an APC governor is that the party itself enables insecurity. So their governors can't fight insecurity honestly. That is what is happening in Benue State. Now watch how Fulanis will begin wreaking havoc in Edo State under the APC henceforth. They went for the security leader because they've been having clashes. They took him out because they know that once they have dropped him, the little security that the people have been able to build for themselves will crash. Now people are fleeing the communities for Fulanis to take over. What a disaster. And this tweet here by Truth says, I will bring insecurity. They thought he made a mistake. They will reduce the number of farmers and youths in Edo State. Bookmark this. During the campaign, Okpewolo said he will bring insecurity to Edo State. He said, I will provide you with insecurity. Now, it is showing that it wasn't a slip of tongue. He actually meant it. And this tweet here by Super says, these barbarians are distributed to all parts of the country to wreak havoc, and they do so unopposed. The political class don't care. And if they do, they cover them up by saying it was not them, but communal violence. That is what is happening. Evidence here says APC, APC, APC. That's their signature. Anywhere you have APC government, killings will be the order of the day. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, that response to El-Rufai's interview from Aso Rock began making the rounds. Aso Rock, through the man with kwashoko of the mouth, Bayo responded in a manner that aggravated the chaos within the APC. See the video.
What is happening with former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai? I mean, he's granted an interview very recently where he's talked about how he was rejected at the National Assembly, and he says that it wasn't the National Assembly that rejected him; it was the president.
Well, I think as a person, I think I will pity former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai.
Pity.
It feels odd that he was not made a minister. I think it's a long time now. The ministers came in August 2023. I think it's time for him to move on. You cannot continue to behave like a child, as if somebody stole your bread and things like that, and then you are crying over a spilt milk, as we say. It's natural for him to feel hurt. It's natural for him to feel bad that he's been excluded. And I think as the president acknowledged in the recent birthday tribute to him, Nasiru actually helped a lot in installing President Tinubu. And if he's not there, it doesn't mean that he must bring down the roof.
No, but clearly something has gone wrong in their relationship. What has happened?
The president has not had the most against Nasiru. I said Nasiru feels naturally hurt that he has been excluded. And that's why he's going about everywhere campaigning against the president and so on. It shows a man who resented being left out of the moving train, and he will not let go. But my advice to him, as a brother, as a former governor, should just appeal to him that he should forget it. If he's not made a minister, he's been in public service since 1999.
You think this is about him being made a minister? Do you think this is about him being made a minister?
I think it started from there. The hurt came from there.
Yes.
But the father was not made a minister. That's why you can see what he's been saying. Even yesterday, in an interview with Arise TV, he made mention of this, saying that it was the president that blocked him and things like that.
But clearly, he is also dissatisfied with how the government has been run, as are many Nigerians.
I think that's his own opinion. Whatever opinion he has about government is personal to him. It does not. It may not. To me, it doesn't reflect reality. This government inherited a lot of problems, and if you look at the figures and everything what we are witnessing, things are getting better. We are certainly not where we were in 2023. We have this government, this administration has done a lot of things to re-engineer the economy, and we are seeing the figures. We are seeing the positive figures. We are seeing inflation coming down. We are seeing foreign exchange reserve growing. We are seeing so many positive things.
We're seeing inflation coming down because inflation numbers, I mean, the GDP was rebased. We saw that.
The GDP has not even been rebased.
You heard that. That was Bayo tearing El-Rufai apart in his usual unintelligent and boring, lackluster manner. When the likes of El-Rufai were running around to rig for Tinubu, Bayo was in one hut in Akure. Today, he's wiping the floor with El-Rufai, and you can say it serves them right. It serves El-Rufai and the likes right. Instead of them to be working to get the nation that has given them so much out of the quagmire that Buhari put it in, they were trying to satisfy their tribal and religious sentiments. Now, the lightweight Agbero, Bayo is wiping the floor with El-Rufai. But this response to El-Rufai divided APC supporters. Many cursed Bayo saying he had no political value and that he cannot speak to El-Rufai in that manner. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This well-known APC supporter, Bosun here, said, these are the people that are recruiting more enemies for Tinubu, people with zero electoral value. Bayo Onanuga actually has zero electoral value, but these utterances from him has further infuriated northern Nigeria. Usman here says, allowing people of little or no political integrity or credibility like Bayo to attack Malam, who played a pivotal role in bringing this government, is one reason El-Rufai should not relent in his quest to dislodge Emilokon's administration. Usman is also speaking from a place of hurt at the betrayal that El-Rufai has suffered in the hands of Tinubu. Another renowned APC supporter, Feshogun here, says, this old man needs to stop talking like a small boy trying to impress his paymaster. What does he mean by pity Malam? For what and why? Is El-Rufai a small politician in Nigerian political space? They should face the reality that APC as a party is not doing well under their watch. These are repentant APC supporters. Babasola Kuti, another strong supporter of APC, wrote here. He said, even if you think so personally, you should never come to TV to express such. You are a servant of the people. You serve at the pleasure of Tinubu. If Tinubu was the one being interviewed, would he have uttered this rubbish? Be conciliatory, not combative. But Prince David Adejinle disagrees. He said, spot on reply. This man is highly intelligent. The clown called Nasiru should test his popularity and contest. But Napolitani Ishola replied. He said, so if Bayo, who lacks moral compass and decorum, who speaks out of content and diplomacy, can be intelligent to you, then you must be the dullest in your parents' lineage. APC supporters are really having a go at one another on this one. And Danjuma here said, Were said he is hot because they didn't make him minister. Abi, he is hot because Ashiwaju betrayed him. If Tinubu didn't beg brother Nasiru to stay and work with him, una forget mouth? Of course not. The role that the likes of El-Rufai and Wike played in rigging the 2023 presidential election was huge. Wike paid heavily, bribed heavily, lobbied heavily to buy many people in South over, not only in Rivers State. That's how APC was able to rig in places like Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, and the rest. Any figure you see from there in that result was inflated by almost 500%. Then El-Rufai and the likes of Ganduje took care of, the rigging in northern Nigeria. And, part of the team that convinced INEC chairman to look away from Atiku, who did so well for him in his career, to do what he did for Tinubu. So I hope that the anger in him continues to burn. Let it continue to burn inside him, El-Rufai. Burn until he does everything to see that the APC collapses. As the northern faction is collapsing, let him, engineer the collapse more until everything crashes. At this point, I doubt if a reconciliation is possible because Tinubu can no longer trust him. So it is fire for fire now. If they try to bring him to the APC now, the best he will be is to become a mole in the party, just as Wike is in the PDP. So I think this is it for him. This is the end of the road for him in APC. So El-Rufai, get to work. Tear the APC apart. And it's funny because I never believed that one day El-Rufai will be working for us. That El-Rufai's vision can align in the slightest of ways with people in the obedient family. But this is politics, a very, very dangerous game. El-Rufai, get to work. Try to tear the APC apart, and I hope that you succeed. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.